Welcome to a special edition of Where You Live. Tonight our crew takes us to North Muskegon, where the entire community has come together to show students the dangers of drinking and driving and texting and driving. Why? Because every 15 minutes someone dies from an alcohol-related accident. Every 15 minutes. Students at North Muskegon High School participated in a two-day program titled Every 15 Minutes. It's a national program that offers real-life experience without real-life risks. This emotionally charged program is designed to be a dramatic reminder for teens of the potentially dangerous consequences of drinking or texting and driving. It challenges students to think about making good choices when others' lives are involved. In yesterday's show, the students at North Muskegon High School involved in the Every 15 Minutes program participated in a simulated series of risky behaviors. Today, we'll see the consequences of those actions. I want to caution you to use discretion while watching tonight's show with young children. Although the scenes are staged, they can be unsettling.
Hi, I'm Chief Krabick from the North Muskegon Police Department. We're en route to a house of parents where a young lady was killed this morning in a car accident. I'm going to explain to the parents that their daughter is deceased. I'm also going to be going with some people from Victim Services who will also help me in answering any questions that the parents may have about this. Okay, let's go.
There's the neighbors.
Hi.
Hi.
Mrs. Clanky?
Yes.
Mr. Clanky?
Yeah.
I'm Chief Krabick from the North Muskegon Police Department. Can I talk to you for a moment?
Sure.
It's in regards to your daughter, Haley. This morning, Haley was involved in an accident up by the school. There were several injuries with the students, but I'm sorry to tell you that Haley died as a result of her injuries in the accident. I have some ladies here that are here from Victim Services, and they can answer any questions. I don't have a lot of details for you right now. I'm very sorry that I have to be the one to tell you this. Okay? But they can answer any questions you have or anything like that. Do you have any questions for me right at the moment?
Can we go see her?
Not at this time. You'll be able to see her later, and these ladies from Victim Services can explain these things to you. Okay? Still.
Haley. What is her name? Haley. All her friends. I don't know,
I don't know how many exactly were involved. We don't have many details right now. There will need to be an autopsy done. And I know that's not something that you want to hear either.
They know if anything what happened or what.
Not that they shared with us.
Today, they came and told us that our daughter had been killed in an accident today. And we don't know the details yet of what has happened. We just know that she's no longer with us.
You know, you hear that cliche, everything changes in a second.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was real.
It was real, you know, and I can't even imagine if this was real, because the emotion I feel feels so real, and I know that she gets to come home. And I just can't imagine if she wasn't coming home, and it's so easy for this to happen. And I think it's incredible that this is being done and the impact I think that it's going to have. And it's not just the drunk driving, you know, it's the marijuana use, and it's the prescription drug use, and it's, you know, texting. It's just distracted driving. And I know for me, knowing that this was going to be happening, even as I've been driving and I hear my phone ding, you know, the tendency before was, okay, what is it? And just from the videos we watched preparing, it has really already hit home to me. So I'm hoping it has the same impact on the kids. Haley, please, please, please take this to heart, because it is very possible that this could be the reality. And she means so much. She's just an awesome, cool kid. And the whole thought of not having her around is truly heartbreaking. I mean, the emotion is real, because the thought of her not being here breaks my heart.
It's something I hope to never experience. In being a school social worker, I know I'm going to have to go through this, and I know it's something that it's tough for me to kind of immerse myself in this and want to do this, because I know how terrible it is to have to go through it in reality. There's just no way to kind of wrap your arms around how much impact this has on a school and a community, especially a small community like we have, when everybody knows everyone else.
Do you think this is important, and do you think it's going to make an impact?
I hope so. I hope it. You know, I've talked. You know, and we've talked to students who've gone through this before, and they remember it from years past. And I think that it always is impactful at first, but then it kind of fades away, and it's good to kind of bring it back and, you know, put a spotlight on it and say, oh yeah, that's right. This is a big deal. You know, and particularly as we're winding down towards the end of the year, kids end up drinking. You know, texting, all that, just lots of busy stuff, you know. So it's good to kind of put those priorities back into place, I think.
Students injured in the accident were transported by ambulance to Mercy Hospital, where they were treated. Friends and family gathered as the doctors provided them with updates on their loved ones.
Sounds clear and equal, 98 SpO2.
You guys want to suction before she tubes? Can you turn that on over there?
We're just gonna. She's got good brachial pulses. Eye.
All right.
Any major bleeding?
Do you have any pain in your back? She was your daughter was in a very serious car accident, and on the x-ray, she's actually broken her neck right at the base of the skull, and the skull's not attached to the spine anymore. So this is not survivable. We don't have any pulse or blood pressure right now. We're trying to run fluids in to try to resuscitate her, but again, this is an injury that is not survivable, because it's a fracture right at the base of the skull.
The intoxicated driver was taken to the Muskegon County Jail, where he was booked.
Step on out. We're going to step right up here and go up to the brown door, okay? Pat you down here, okay? Other foot. All right, you can relax. All right. You know what you're being charged for, right? Yes, sir. Okay. OWI right now, drunk driving. And so far, we know that one's dead right now. Okay, so it's going to be a fatal crash resulting in drunk driving. You understand that, right? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, Kiernan, I'm going to read you your chemical test rights here, okay? What we're going to be asking for is that you take a data master test. It's not going to be the same thing that you took on the road when you blew into that small machine. This is totally different from that, okay? I got to read you word for word here, okay? I'm a peace officer, and you are under arrest for the offense of operating a vehicle, causing serious injury to another while operating a vehicle intoxicated or while visibly impaired by alcoholic liquor, a controlled substance, or other intoxicating substance or combination with unlawful bodily alcohol content. I'm requesting that you take a chemical test to check for alcohol and or controlled substances and or other intoxicating substance in your body. The results of both chemical tests shall be admissible in a judicial proceeding and will be considered with other admissible evidence in determining your innocence or guilt. Will you take a breath test? blow into that until I tell you to stop, okay? Blow as hard as you can. Blow, 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 blow. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, you can stop. All right. Salt is 0.18, okay? So you actually, your bodily alcohol content went up since the time of the accident. All right, so you're still climbing as far as how much alcohol is in your system. All right?
That's good, right.
Well, I was going to go back there. I didn't know if you were back there alone. So
hey, Mom. I'm down at the county jail. I need you to come and bail me out. Yeah, I was in a drunk driving accident. I'm sorry. Just get here when you can. Okay, love you.
The driver was then escorted to the courtroom where parents of the students involved had a chance to speak their mind. Students filled the courtroom as the reality of the moment weighed heavy on everyone involved. So, what was your role in today's situation?
I was the driver of the car that was hit by the drunk driving car, and I was supposed to be texting, and I got hit, and the phone came up into my face and hit it and bruised it really bad, and my legs got tucked under, and I ended up getting paralyzed from the waist down. So
you went to the hospital. They came out and told you your daughter's paralyzed. What was that experience like for you?
Well, it happened so fast, but it was very real and just unbelievable that that could happen to your child, and very scary, very scary.
Dad, the impact. Standing on the side of the street, I was thinking, I can't imagine being one of these parents.
It was horrible. Watching the kids' faces from the high school, they see their friends. From a parent standpoint, that's your daughter that's in there. I was in tears on the street.
Did you think it would have this kind of impact on you?
I did. We've been preparing for this for the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've talked about the letters that we've had to write, and we've tried to emotionally prepare yourself, but you can't prepare yourself when something happens to your child.
So what's the takeaway? What do you hope that you and your students, your fellow students, remember forever?
I hope they realize the damage that could actually be done, that it's possible to. This could happen to any of us, so I hope they take something from it. I know I have, so.
All right. 14th Circuit Court for State of Michigan, County of Muskegon is now in session with the Honorable Timothy G. Hicks presiding. You may be seated.
People of the State of Michigan versus Kernan Pitts. The file number is 15-60000FH. We're here to sentence Mr. Pitts on 3 different charges. We have 2 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing death. One's causing the death of Miss Haley Clanky. The maximum there is 15 years. The other count is causing the death of Miss Elizabeth Pitcher. The maximum there is also 15 years. The third count is operating while intoxicated, causing a serious injury to Megan Massey. The maximum on that count is 5 years. This is the time here then to hear from the victims or their families for those who have passed away. Ms. Chilson, who's first?
We have been forced to participate in something none of these 4 families would have ever asked to be a part of. The morbid irony of this whole thing is that the perpetrator of this misery is the luckiest person in this courtroom. As strange as it sounds, he's the luckiest because he's been impacted the least from his choices. And let me be clear, crystal clear, Kiernan. You made a choice. You did not make a mistake. You didn't accidentally pick the wrong answer on a test in school. You made a choice, a conscious decision to risk Megan's legs and Haley's and Elizabeth's lives. Of everyone affected here, including your parents, you're the luckiest one. You are affected the least. We are changed forever. Haley and Elizabeth forever died with your choice. The Pitchers and the Clankies lost a meaningful part of their forever. You, however, get a fresh start someday. While you may have guilt, you'll be able to carry your guilt by walking. You'll be able to think about that guilt by breathing. There are 3 other people that you didn't give that choice. Therefore, I would ask the court to consider the maximum penalty. Whatever that penalty may be, it'll still be less of a sentence than the life of pain and loss being served by our affected families.
Kiernan, we've known you a long time. Love you, but right now I don't like you very much. Grew up with us. All I can think of is all the times you'd come over, play piano, hang out, sing songs, the excursions and fun times you had with Haley. But those times are gone. And we have to live with it, you know. I don't know how we make sense of this, but I hope that for everybody else, that this is an experience that will serve as a warning and maybe kind of help guide some decisions as what to not to do. I guess for your sake, I hope you can get some help and move on from this, because I truly believe that this is not the boy that your parents had raised you to be. This is not the decision that they would have had you make.
Clanky, thank you. Mrs. Clanky, do you wish to say anything?
The only thing that I would like to add is we do know your heart. We do know that had you clearly thought through what you were doing, this would not be the path that you would choose. We believe that you can change and that you can make something positive come from this. It's for that reason that we ask the court to give you that opportunity to still be able to make a meaningful life. That we ask the court to allow you to have a chance to make a difference in the other people's lives. And we hope that as part of your sentence, that is a requirement that you have to do that. We don't think that you should get off without any penalty. But it is our request to the court to consider concurrent sentences instead of consecutive sentences.
Mr. Pitts, this report reflects a lot of good news. It says you've got a very accomplished record at North Muskegon High School. You're active in theater and community programs. You're graduating 1 year early, and you're already accepted to the prestigious institution of New York University. There's a fair amount of bad news here, and I cannot conclude that this is just one awful night where you did something. It was an awful night, you did do something, but the report says this, that your mother talked to you repeatedly about alcohol use and the necessity of doing that wisely. She says that she found several pictures on your Facebook page holding alcoholic beverages and appearing to be intoxicated. I never understood why people would brag about that, but they do. She says that you never took her warning seriously and that your complacency is what brings you before the court. In addition, Mr. Cotner's office has found an entry that you put on your Facebook page after this happened where you said, quote, "This sucks. Please pray for me. This sucks. Please pray for me." Putting these things together, I think the only sentence here that's fair is our concurrent sentences and sentences to the Michigan Department of Corrections. On the 2 accounts of OUI causing death, the court sentence is within the guidelines, but near the top of those guidelines, 7 years to 15 years, Michigan Department of Corrections. On the last count, the serious injury, 3 years to 5 years, Michigan Department of Corrections. When you actually get out of programming and things like that, we're entrusting to the Department of Corrections, to the prison people. When you actually leave the prison, will be up to the parole board. I don't have any control over that. I endorse Mrs. Clanky's comments about the programming that I think ought to be appropriate there. On the money side, the court's ordering you to pay restitution of $204 and state cost of $130. There's one last number here that comes into play that will disrupt your life for a long time, and that's restitution. Court's ordering you to pay medical and funeral expense cost for Haley and for Elizabeth. Court's ordering you to pay medical cost for Megan. And we don't know what those costs are now because they're still escalating. At some point, Mr. Hilson will have to nail that down. Mr. Johnson, anything else? Mr. Pitts, good luck to you. You're entitled to file an application for leave to appeal these proceedings, and we will ask you to go with the deputy now.
My name is Fred Johnson. I am the public defender for the Muskegon County Office of Public Defenders. I've been over here since September of 2013, and today I was asked to participate in a role-playing exercise where people can have a realistic view of what happens in a courtroom when you make very serious, very bad choices. We want to show folks that your youth is not a protector, that if there are consequences to others, there's going to be consequences to you as well, that tears and mom can't always protect you, that if you've given adult responsibility, like the keys to an automobile, you have adult responsibilities. That means you're going to be expected to behave as one, and that you just got to be smart. You just have to listen to the things that your parents tell you. One of the things that my clients most often tell me, Miranda, is that when I visit them in jail, the number one thing they tell me is, if I listened to my mother, I wouldn't be here today. Your family are your friends, and they're the ones that can give you the straight information. Listen to what they say, have your fun, but listen to what they say, keep out of trouble, enjoy life.
It was easily the most nerve-wracking and the most emotional. Just walking into the courtroom and seeing my friends and their families out there, it killed me.
You know that Dad came after you.
Yeah, he always kind of has this thing where he jokes around with me about he doesn't like me, but we're like super close. I'm super close with that family, but I could just really feel it. It definitely is an eye-opener, yeah. I've never made those choices. I don't do that kind of stuff, but for people to watch and to actually be in this experience, yeah, it's crazy. It just makes you realize how one dumb mistake can mess up your entire life, and others too. Don't drink and drive. Don't make that mistake. Nevertheless, don't underage drink, and just be safe, be smart.
And students involved in every 15 minutes were asked to write letters. Each letter expressed individual reactions to these emotional events.
Really reflect if this were real. You're not going home tonight. And that is a huge representation to your parents of this being real. When you're born, those dreams and hopes and wishes for you are infinite. And as you grow, they become real. And although what we experienced today was a simulation, tonight, your parent is going to have it feel real.
Is very difficult, where you have to write a letter to your child as far as them being deceased, and later on they go to a hotel room and they won't get to read it, and they write one to us. But it's literally one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life.
Dear Eric, We thank God every day for bringing you into our lives. You are reading this letter tonight because you, along with other students, have been selected by the Every 15 Minutes Committee to be one of the students that dies in the car accident, either from texting or drinking. A parent of every student who died has been asked to write a letter to their child. We were asked to write your obituary for your funeral. I woke from a horrible dream, drenched in sweat. I dreamt that Mr. Pooland and North Muskegon Chief of Police came to our front door and told Dad and me that you were killed in a car accident. They believe the driver of the car that hit you was texting. This is just a bad dream. You were just in the kitchen eating breakfast. We were talking about the basketball season, how excited you are going to the Naval Academy this summer. We were going to pick you up the tux for prom after practice tonight. You were taking the ACT on Saturday. I'm not going to bury you. You still need to unpack from spring break. What a great trip to Clearwater Beach. You have a baseball game tomorrow. You can't be dead. Your tux is hanging in your closet now for prom on Saturday. How do I begin to go on? Our life means nothing anymore. I know this is a dream. God has a great plan in store for you, Eric. You are going to go and make a great name for yourself. You will live long with many accolades attributed to your life. I will not write your obituary because this is every 15 minutes. God needs you in this world for now. Go out and be bigger than life. Eric, we love you so much. May you always be with the Lord. Love always, Mom and Dad.
This program provided real-life experiences without real-life risk. It powerfully portrayed the dangers of drinking and texting while driving. The two-day event left the students and the community with images, thoughts, and memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you for watching tonight's show. For a list of resources on ways to engage your kids in conversations about the dangers of underage drinking, driving, and texting and driving, head to our website, WOTVforwomen.com.